Hey YouTube, welcome back. This is the Maine Prepper. I had a really good question that came up, and the first thing I wanted to say was welcome to all the new subscribers, and what an honor it is to have so many people that are new to prepping. I have to remember, and I have to be constantly reminded as well by my friends out there, that in fact not everybody knows what happened in the first videos, and not everybody knows the full story behind the channel, or that even knows all the things that we're talking about. And so periodically it is instrumental and it is helpful and useful if I go back and I make sure that I don't violate some cardinal rules, and one of those is to use an acronym or industry speak or jargon that's familiar to the group but not familiar to a new person. So just as when you go to the rifle range and everybody seems to be speaking a foreign language, I don't want us to be talking in one here, using a lot of gibberish without explaining at least what the words mean. So one of the terms that came up is a military acronym called MOLLE. And this is a pouch from a friend of mine, Bill, and it's going to go on to a vest given to me by a friend of mine, Florin, both of neighbors from the north. This is a MOLLE pouch. This is a MOLLE vest. What does MOLLE stand for? Well, MOLLE is a female name, but it's M-O-L-L-E, which is modular, M-O. Lightweight, meaning it's easy to carry around by a human being. Load carrying equipment, meaning you can put stuff in here. And of course, it's equipment that we're going to carry with us. Too easy, right? Before MOLLE, we had another acronym that you may hear, so I'll throw that out now. And that's ALICE, which stands for All-Purpose, Lightweight, Individual Carrying of Equipment. I never knew what these meant when I was a new soldier. I couldn't remember. Somebody probably mentioned it, but I was too terrified of my drill sergeant to be able to, I was a Marine at the time actually, of my drill instructor, to be able to ask an effective question. MOLLE is the latest generation. It has superseded ALICE. Now there's new stuff out there, of course, but this is the latest in use by the military, which means it's in great abundance. ALICE is even in greater abundance, it seems, at the moment, because people are getting rid of ALICE and going to MOLLE. MOLLE is simply a set of straps that run horizontally across your chest rig, your belt gear, or anything else, including rucksacks, that you want to attach another piece of equipment to. So we might consider this the female, in that it has all the loops, and this is going to be the male, and it has the straps. These straps, they run vertical. These loops run horizontal. They're simply made out of 1-inch nylon, threaded, rather sewn on with stitched here, and stitched every about 1.5 inches apart, so that you can put these 1-inch wide, reinforced, hopefully, straps with buttons that button onto the bottom of the same equipment. I'm going to show you exactly how this goes on and how easy it is. An assembly tool you may want to get is a spoon. Don't use a knife. Dangerous. You'll cut your gear or cut yourself. You want to first put your gear and determine where you want it. Hey, that looks great. Thanks, Bill. It looks awesome. And thank you, Florin. These two go well together, I think, black and green. Much better than pink and yellow. And I haven't seen any pink and yellow MOLLE gear, and I'm not buying any. All right. These straps, they have a button on them. Makes it a little difficult to fit through these loops, but we can do it because we have the tools and the technology. You want to start, put one in, and then put the other one in. If you have a problem with this little button wanting to snag, especially when we get down to here, you use the spoon and get up there and push past it. Now you don't want to just keep going down the row like this, because these straps have reciprocal straps here on our pouch. Notice this. What I'm going to do, instead of going down that second row, I'm going to pull these up. And I'm going to pull them up snug. All right? Snug as a bug in a rug. And then I'm going to feed back into the reciprocal strap. Just the top one. Don't go into the second one. Just the top one. And again, top strap. Too easy, right? And now, that's right, you guessed it. We go back into the loops that are on our piece of gear we're mounting to. And we want to do one side. And you can pull all the way through if you want to. Sometimes though, when you have 5 or 6 straps or more that you're trying to do, you may want to try to work uniformly, because if you get a little too far ahead on one side, it kind of torques the piece of gear on the other, makes it harder, but you'll learn. Okay, snug it down. And guess what? That's right, we're going to go back into our second row of reciprocal straps. Some pieces of gear are rather large and they have several rows of webbing that they'll take up. Usually though, you need about 3 for most of your gear. I can imagine if I find magazine pouches for my Sega 12 gauge for the 10-round magazines, they'll probably take 5 or 6 rows. I don't even know if I got body armor that big. Okay, and guess what? We have one more row to do. You could probably snap this on, but let's not be lazy. Let's go all the way, and then some. And this is where we may definitely need to use the spoon to help us get this row. And this one, your last row is always going to be the hardest. It's kind of like farming, isn't it? Okay, and I didn't need the spoon on that, so we can set that aside. Now, we have buttons. That keeps this from just pulling back up the top. And the buttons are snap buttons. I felt it, but I didn't hear it. Let's hear it. There you go. Those of you that are old paratroopers will remember in the days with the diagonal back straps on the MC-1-1 Bravo and even the Charlie harness, as well as the T-10 harness. They had these buttons, and the buttons could only be undone one way. So if you grabbed from here and pushed down, the button wouldn't come loose because it was on there. It could only be attached and unattached from reaching inside and pushing down against the strap. I didn't know this when I was a new jumper. I managed to somehow fumble the button undone. But then when I was trying to put the diagonal back strap back together, and the jump master was yelling and screaming as he always did for us to hurry up because the aircraft was going to be there in 6 hours and we needed to be ready 5 hours in advance. I must have spent an hour trying to fight that button on. These buttons are multi-directional. They're not unidirectional. But if you ever get a piece of gear and the snap doesn't want to go on in one direction, try it from another. All right, just a little piece of advice. So here we have it, the MOLLE attached, and you can see how thorough it is. Notice that it's woven in and out. That's it, hopefully, in a nutshell. If that wasn't clear, send me a PM or something and let me know. Otherwise, click like so everybody will know and they'll come here and look and they'll remember this video. Thank you so much, folks, for tuning in. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Welcome to the adventure.